Hello, hello, hello. Hello, 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 everybody. Hello, hello, hello. We'll do a deck. We're gonna do that soon, but let's just talk about Machinedramon, shall we? Hello, hello, hello. Sorry, I was trying to share this just so that there's more people get a view sense of what's going on. But this was the record I had today, which isn't terrible. Not terrible at all. But I figured having a discussion a little more in depth and impersonal was a little bit better, in my opinion. So but how is everybody? How's everybody? Before we get into it, I want to give some time and chitty chat. Maybe it might be worth getting in some opinions and make everybody's voice matter. So, I figured it would be worth the wait it is. But what's up, everybody? What's up? want to get at least a few people to pop in so we can have a conversation going. But I know. Right now we are at 4 Doraemon. Definitely worth its grain. I think this versus Pagu, I think this is more valued, especially if you're building the stack version. And this is what I was using. So let's break down this list real quick, shall we? First off, we have 4 Doraemon. Doraemon definitely worth what I think is its value. Doraemon, paired to Pagu, in my opinion, Dory definitely gives that feel that, hey, I'm going to be drawing cards, and that's what we need to do. I think being able to tuck in and then draw cards is what this deck values the most. And paired to Pagu's a gamble because you could neg on it, and you want to guarantee your draws. The deck needs consistency, and this is our biggest consistency boost. And I think 4 of it is where you need to be at. But until we get something different, I don't think there's much we can replace for it. So 4 Doraemon, definitely agree with that. But then let's get into rookie lineups that I tested out. And I can explain my ratios real quick about them too. It's nothing too crazy, but... Oh, definitely agree on that. That you can definitely add more than you wanted. But then it also combos extremely well with your Doraemon. Doraemon at 4 is no joke what you want to play at. I don't feel like playing any less is a bad thing. You want to see this card. It's not for its on play. It's definitely for this little inheritable that says when one of your effects places a Digi-Evolution card under this Digimon, gain 1 memory. But you could search this card or your top end Machinedramon X. More often than not, it's worth playing this, in my opinion, just because of that comboing draw, gain 1 memory. Sometimes even getting your good friend Machinedramon being free for the turn really does matter, in my opinion. I think having this 4-4 split is really good. And then finally, for the last couple rookies we play, which, correct me if I'm wrong for playing this, but I feel like it's such a useful tech that I don't actually see a bad time with it. I do play 3 Ludomon. Ludomon came out in the starter deck that Ragna came in. It's a brand new Ludomon. For its on play, by placing this under one of your other Digimon that's red or has legendary arms in its trait, we're only going to be putting this under Machinedramon X. Then you may reveal the top card of your deck. If you may play 1 Digimon with legendary arm in its traits, and a play cost 7 or less among them without paying its memory cost, add this to your hand. At most times, if this is under a Dory stack with a Doraemon with, Chaos or Machinedramon, you tuck it in, and it'll give it blocker. So your Digimon, as long as you have red on board state, now your lines will always have blocker, and this sneaks in and just boom. Your opponent's not ready for this. I feel like being able to tuck this under your Machinedramon or Machinedramon X really can give you a blocker inheritable. Sometimes you won't see it. We are restricted into maybe 2 blocker inheritables for your deck. This now brings up the blocker ability. The reason why I valued the Ludomon, to be honest with you, is because the fact is this can give me early blocker where my other lines couldn't. I mean, the black version, when you get into Machinedramon or Machinedramon regular, you won't actually get this off. That's fine, though. It's the moment we get into Machinedramon and Machinedramon X, which we want to be on anyway, then we get some real nice momentum, because now you have this. You now gain the blocker ability. Now you can block easier than having to rely on getting into, your Megadramon with blocker inheritable or your Androidmon, for that blocker effect. So I think that's really solid there. And then finally, we tech in 2 Hagurumon. You guys might be going crazy and probably saying, why are you only playing 2 Hagurumon? Most lists probably would play more or value this at more. To be honest with you, I didn't really want to hard play this card. I mean, yes, it fixed my hand once I had this in stack. This was more value to me once I hard played this after I had this stack built. Like, as long as I have one rookie in raising already, this would allow me to draw and keep momentum. And then in certain matchups, hunters, this now can swing. Boom. You know, this is now valued to me because I don't have to bring my stack up early just to try to keep climbing. I can keep pressure, getting draws in until my hand's fixed. Another reason why I played Ridemyavatar as well, before I go off on more tangents, is that this card is straight up for the Hunter matchup. Now I can basically keep my one stack and keep it gaining momentum pieces going until I get ready for it. I can choke, I can do all the good stuff there. Now let's get into the champions lineup. This is where it kind of gets a little spicy for me. I feel like I made really good calls on them. And it wasn't like terrible calls in my opinion, but hey. Yep, very much so. So I did play to Numamon. Numamon is just a one-cost evolve, especially really good when you want to choke your opponent, or better yet, when you're going, your hand kind of bricked a little bit, and this is like the champion you get, and you don't have any rookies, you can hard play this. Especially when they give you 3 memory, you can go this into a ultimate very easily, and then that's basically that 3 memory gave you complete momentum. So it's like almost playing another 3-drop rookie in your list. But the ability to one-cost evolve choke, I think, is outweighing most value. Then we do have 2 of Mercurymon, which is probably a lot of different from a lot of people's lists. Most people don't play Mercurymon, which I noticed. But the fact of being a on-play or when digivolving until the end of opponent's turn, one of your Digimon gains blocker, really does matter in some circumstances, because sometimes they'll go wide. But in matchups like Hunters, where if, let's say, Analog Man's hit in security, and if you haven't been able to kill off their tamers, that Ridemyavatar can tuck it under your Machinedramon under him. Well, what would be nice is if you just make that tamer now no longer existing, give your Digimon blocker, and then what if they had arrested a Ridemyavatar? You swing in, get your Digimon off the field, now they don't have a tech choice to get rid of your stuff. Just nice little tech ability, but I also like the ability to digivolve on top of my tamer if my hand's not really optimal. It'll be able to digivolve from my tamer up to a level all the way up to my mega now consistently, and that's just another bridge gap in my opinion. I like it. Then we do have 3 Guardramon. Guardramon, really, I hate it sometimes because if I promote it up and I have no way of digivolving up, I want to still apply pressure. But the fact of the when attacking effect is huge in my opinion, because then you may trash one Digimon card with Machine or Cyborg as traits to draw 2 cards. Definitely is useful. Never have any objections on it. And I love the card to death. I think being able to draw 2 really does keep momentum, keeps us going, and it's always worth its value in my opinion. But let's get into the ultimates. First off, we do have 1 Machinedramon. Your turn, this Digimon is treated as black, but your turn, this Digimon gets plus 2000 DP. Helps you get over magic numbers. Sometimes boss Digimons are just ridiculously big, and you need to be able to get over them. Buy an extra 2000 DP can buy you enlarge. Then we have 1 Machinedramon. So it has a great on play, but in this format, we don't want to ever use it. But this also gives you, while this Digimon has Machine in his traits, it gains security +1. That extra security plus can really apply a lot of pressure, especially once you get into the bigger stacks. And I like to be able to speed up a little bit sometimes when the games get a little too grindy, or at some points we can go the extra speed route because we have the protections there. We can gamble a little bit easier than most decks in this format. Then we do have 1 Machinedramon for blocker. So definitely mentioned this earlier. Having blocker inheritables is quite needed in this format, especially with Machinedramon during some matchups, being able to stop an attack and then having Analog Man to redirect afterwards really is useful. So that is that one. Then we have Volcanomon. Volcanomon, definitely a security plus checker, and the ability to come in as a blocker really does come in useful. I mean, I don't hate it. I like it. Just being an extra security check, so now I can deal 3 damage in 1 push turn, sometimes speeds up the clock. And then your opponent just hates it. Then we have Metal Tyranno, because the when Digivolving on play actually can come up occasionally depending on board state. You can definitely use it, or you can't. But being able to lock down an opponent's Digimon that's causing you trouble can really mean something, especially if they have some protections on it. You can shut down their reboot for a turn, anything like that, stopping them from being able to unsuspend, and they only unsuspend on your next turn. Then you can set up de-digivolve them, get their protections offline, and then boom. And then while this Digimon deletes an opponent's Digimon by battle, trash the top card of your opponent's security stack. It's really nasty when you can block and redirect, at least on their turn. You get to trash stuff. I think that really slows down your opponent. Then we do have Metal Greymon. So when attacking, when this Digimon attacks a player, delete one of your opponent's Digimon with 4,000 DP or less. This card, I love it because of the piercing inheritable. So while this Digimon has Machine or Dragon Kid in its traits, it gains piercing. Boom. This allows you to combo in and be able to triple security check and still remove threats off the board, which we want to do in this list, to be honest. Then we have Metal Mamamon. So when Digivolving, reveal the top 3 cards of your deck, add 1 level 6 machine and its traits among them to your hand, trash the remaining cards. And then when attacking, if this Digimon has machine in its traits, delete one of your opponent's Digimon with a play cost 5 or less. So it's weird how many of the on plays and when Digivolving level 5s can affect hunters for no apparent reason. Oh, I agreed. And then we have Androidmon. Another blocker inheritable. I think the blocker inheritable is really needed this format. So when Digivolving, reveal the top 3 cards to your deck, add 1 level 6 with machine and its traits among them to your hand, trash the remaining cards, blocker. I can't express how many times I just needed a blocker, and once I got it, your opponent just, boom. I love it. I love being able to lock out your opponent's game plan because now we have a big body blocker that they can't really deal with. And then we have Metal Tyranno for the reboot. So when you reveal the top 3 cards of your deck, add a level 6 with machine and its traits among them to your hand, trash the remaining cards. And then it gives reboot if it's a machine type on your opponent's turn. So, again, value for opponent's turns. You really want to have some way of stopping and then being able to swing and then get back up. Again, is really important. And then we do have Gigadramon. So jamming, reboot, great combination with Gardramon, being able to swing in without having to worry, trash something, draw 2 cards, and then Digivolve on top of it. Boom. Now you've plussed in a way, especially if you Digivolve into Bt-12 Machinedramon, you can value it that way as well, or you can value it with your Chaosdramon, anything like that. So if you get some decent protections going, this can get ridiculous pretty quickly. Then we do have Metal Greymon. So we're never going to use this card in generalization because it will never Digivolve on our top stuff. But the fact of it, this Digimon gets plus 3,000 DP on your turn really does come up and matter, especially against certain boss Digimons that you can't de-Digivolve for a few turns. Can lead to being some great value that way. Then let's get into the 2 of level 5s that we are playing. First off, 2 Megadramons, because in this format, you need to kill 3 cost tamers. They are really strong in this format, and if you let them sit on the board too long, you are going to fall to them. Hunters gets hammered by this. Crossheart gets hammered by this. War Greymon gets hammered by this, just because being able to remove Cool Boys and Ties really punishes them, and anything like that, I feel like you need to punish players for playing heavy tamer sets in this format. And then finally, 2 Metal Greymon for that beautiful, while this Digimon has Dragon or Machine as traits, it can attack your opponent's unsuspended Digimon. Being able to swing into their stuff, especially with piercing, extra security checks, or being able to trash something because you deleted something. Boom. Now your opponent's just in a bad spot, in my opinion. So can we get rid of this glare a little bit? Boom. There we go. I think that helps a little bit, right? The glare is gone. So that works. We got rid of the glare. Now let's get into the level 6s, because that's why we're here. We need to see where I'm going with those, right? So first off, we are playing 3 Bt-12 Machinedramons. So this card is... I'm in and on a fence about this card. I feel like this card is great when you can Digivolve and combo in with Machinedramon X with a Machinedramon on top of it, and then you get to proc both skills, filling your trash, getting yourself up in resources, and the on-deletion, if you have an analog man, bottom it, and being able to play a Machinedramon is really good. I just wish for the fact of the revealing the top 5 of the deck, add one analog to your hand, analog man to your hand, and then add one cyborg or machinist, trace to hand, or place it under this Digimon as a battle Digi-Evolution card, trash the rest. I kind of wish analog man went to field. To be honest with you, if you had to hard play this, analog man should have just came on board as the trade-off. It's already hard enough to get the analog man in that 5, so rewarding you for doing that should have been this card's effect. But who knows? Maybe BT14, we get that reward. Maybe in that set, we'll get everything we need. But we'll have to see. Then we do have 3 EX3 Machinedramon. So, on play, when Digivolving, you may place 3 red or black level 5 cyborgs in their traits with different numbers from your hand or trash under this Digimon to de-Digivolve one of your opponent's Digimon for each card with placed by this effect. So being able to make things smaller is vital in my opinion. And Machinedramon is huge for doing so. And then all turns, when this Digimon would be deleted or returned to hand or deck, you may trash 2 level 5 in its Digi-Evolutions to prevent it leaving play. What's really nice is, if you can get this to stick, then your opponent doesn't have much to respond to. Machinedramon is vital, in my opinion, just because if you trash 2, then you can go right into this big bad boy here, and that is the new Machinedramon X antibody. So, for 2 of them, we play. This card is one of the newest cards that's really nasty. Digivolving for 2 on top of Machine or Machinedramon. Start a main phase, place 1 card with Cyborg or Machine in its traits as a bottom Digi-Evolution of this Digimon, and then all turns, this Digimon gains effects of Machine and Machinedramon in its Digi-Evolution cards. So that means your when Digivolving effects of this Machinedramon and Machinedramon is boom. Yeah, that's awesome in my opinion. And then all turns, when this Digimon would be deleted, trash the top card of your opponent's security stack. So if they have some way of getting rid of him, boom, you're going to be regretting that. They're going to regret that heavily because Machinedramon X is going to be prevented from leaving field because of your inheritable protections from, you know, Machinedramon or Machinedramon BT EX1. So this card is great because on play, if you may place up to 5 red or black cards with Cyborg in its traits and different card numbers from your hand and or trash as Digi-Evolution cards, and gain 1 memory for each card play. So you'll be extending your plays greatly. And then alternative Digimon DP can't be reduced. Yellow kind of just cries against this card. And then all turns, when this Digimon would be deleted, you may trash 2 level 5 Digimon cards in its Digi-Evolution cards to prevent it from leaving play. So another protection skill. Machinedramon gets that both, and boom. Most of your opponents can't deal with once they have super protective abilities. In my opinion, we're in a good spot for it. And now let's get into the tamers. Well, the tamer. I play 3 Analog Man. Now, this is probably where people are going to go like, you are crazy. That should be a 4 of. I feel like 4, especially in a Hunter's format, you don't want to be having the risk of it coming out in security. I mean, it's great if you can get in other matchups in security and it comes out for free. Boom, you're in a good spot. But the fact of Analog Man not being there early on might hurt you. So start of the main phase by trashing a level 5 with Cyborg and traits in your hand, gain 1 memory, draw a card. And then when an opponent's Digimon attacks, by suspending this tamer, switch the target of the attack to a level 6 with Machine traits. It's got to attack the security. If they attack your Digimon, that's not going anywhere. But hey, Analog Man's Analog Man, in my opinion. And then we do play, for options, we're getting into the nitty gritty. I do play 3 Black Memory Boost. Black Memory Boost extends the plays that we can do, especially if your opponent's memory choking you and you just need to slam down a Machinedramon just to answer board. Revealing the top 4 cards of your deck, add 1 black Digimon card among them to your hand, place the remaining cards at the bottom of the deck in any order, then place this card onto the battlefield, delay, gain 2 memory. Since we don't have any other ways of extending or being able to reduce the Digi-Evolution cost of what we're trying to do, I feel like Black Memory Boost, until we get the trainers, is still the vital option, and I think 3 is great. And then we are playing 2, Attack of the Heavy Mobile Machine, being able to give your Machinedramon or Chaosdramon rush at the end of game to finally close out. It's like having another hybrid for game shenanigans. But being able to, you know, just trash 1 Cyborg or Machine traits to have all your level 6 gain rush or blitz when the Digimon would Digivolve. Really nice. But it also has a trash 1 of your Cyborg or Machines in his traits to delete 1 of your opponent's Digimon whose play cost is less than or equal to the trash card's play cost. So this lets us trash. Now that we have a 13, we can almost delete anything that is a level 6 in-game, which is huge. Because sometimes a 13 was near impossible, and then we were kind of in a bad spot, which we hate. We don't want to have that kind of bad spot. But now, being able to trash anything that's excess, we can get threats off the board, and that's kind of what we want to do. And then finally, 1 Super Eradicator attack. So many people do not understand how this works. So, while you have a level 6 with Machine in its traits in play, use this card without meeting your color requirements, so it's just a 2 cost. But choose 1 of your Machine or Cyborgs in its traits, delete that Digimon and 1 of your opponent's Digimon with DP less than or equal to its DP. People have said that you cannot, unless your Digimon goes, it doesn't activate. It's like, no, it's XYZ does not happen like that. And you know how many times it's come up where my Chaosdramon X, I just need to deal 1 more damage and I can't present lethal. So what I do is activate this. They don't have anything on board, but I trigger mine to be self-destroyed. And then boom, instantly now for 2 costs, I trash this free security. Really good effect. And it combos really well because your protection's there, your Digimon's not going anywhere, and then you can get rid of threats on board. Multiple times of me versus like a Beelzemon player at locals or anything like that, when it came up, I would swing into their stack, make the Beelzemon appear, and then do Super Eradication attack, blowing up their Digimon, keeping mine on board, trashing 1 of their security, and then boom, now they don't have anything to threaten me on the follow-up turn, and that's sometimes all that you need. And then security by trashing 1 card with Cyborg or Machinist traits in your hand, delete 1 of your opponent's Digimon with a play cost less than or equal to that. So basically the same thing as Attack of the Heavy Mobile Machine, but Super Eradication attack style. So definitely like the list. I like it a lot. I have really no objections on how it came to be. I think pretty solid here. And I mean, if you guys think there's ways to improve this list, let me know. I definitely, from my original list, I had 4 Gardramon and 3 Mercurymon, but I realized I needed the Numamon because that 1 cost Evolve Climb really did matter in certain circumstances. And I feel like I played my best today. Out of everything, people will say, well, I mean, hey, there's not always the best lines of play, but I mean, I think I did my best, and I really tried my best. They were close games. It wasn't like I was falling behind, but there was times where I just needed that next draw to be the level 5, and I was set. But then it's like I drew a rookie. Or in certain circumstances, I'm like, oh man, if I just draw this 1 card, I have this. And that's just boom. But I feel like everything here is meant to be. But I mean, yes, people will probably say maybe change up the rookie lineup a little bit, but I mean, maybe up the analog man, that it could. It's just very much very difficult to make calls like this. So I don't know. And to me, I also know that we can't de-digivolve the Beelzemons that get played by effects. I wish we could. That would be pretty bad. To be honest with you. But I think that's pretty solid here. I think all in all, I don't have any objections on my list. But if you guys have better opinions, let me know. Let me know down in the comments. You know, this is, or just in this chat. So let's see where we go from there. Okay. Shows. What's up, broski? So we see nice 2 costs. It's really solid. Huh? I find myself rather using floodgates than go for the memory choke because of the huge amount of tamer usage. That could be a pick there. I could probably take out the Hagurumon and put in Shumons just to slow down them, but that would be a very solid pick there. And Beelzemon causing but it's probably really has a really good matchup with Hunters. Yeah, I've had a good matchup. My ratios are fine. It's just that last game I had to, against Hunters for my last match, I had to drop a level 5 for 6 costs on them when I was at 1, giving them 5, and they dropped 3 tamers in that time span, and I was already falling behind there. And I'm like, I can start deleting stuff, and then they hit another tamer off the board, and I'm like, oh, this is totally what I needed right now. So, I mean, certain times it's just, I didn't see the rookie in time. That's the big problem with this deck, is that we don't play optimally a normal ratio. This eats up your ratio. Like, the level 5 count is ridiculously high for a deck like this, unlike anything else before it. Everybody else plays different ratios, and we're playing an extremely high level 5 to accommodate, you know, Machinedramon's effects. And that's a big thing. Like, if we could have a rookie that could do something, would be really nice. But I think the Floodgate rookies are really nice, to be honest with you. I have plenty of feeling that we're doing everything right by what we need to. But that's just me. What do you guys think? Anything else would be changed up? Maybe put Jumons in. I would probably take out the Hagura, to be honest with you, to put the Chumon in to slow down the Beelzemon players. Because if you can stop them gaining memory for that ridiculous things. Yeah, that's a big question. Like, I find that this draw is great. Sometimes it helps me on brick. But then, yeah. Oh, yeah, because they Digicross for the rookies. But that's about it. That's a big thing there. It's like the rookies slow down a bit. Chikurimon would make Hunters a lot more slower, but I don't... You mean Security's Chikuri? That could work, especially to hit it, and then boom, they de-digivolve. But I think also just... it's tough. Because then... I like the Ludo. Ludo helps. Chikuri and Security is just nasty because being able to de-digivolve might work too. Yeah, it is definitely a rookie lineup that we need to change up a bit here. I don't want to change up my level 4s because I already see a problem not getting them always, and it's good to get them. Well, that's if they swing. That's a big thing. That's if they swing. Sometimes they'll just Digivolve up and then swing with its effect because it doesn't need to suspend to be able to attack. So, that's a big data point there. I mean... so many potentials. So many potentials. That's a possibility. This becomes Dory. That wouldn't be bad. Adoru there would actually probably be a surprise tech. Because then we get some value out of it. Not a bad possibility there. But then what I probably would do is go 3 Dories from the security. Just because then I want to see it in security more. And then surprise rookie comes in for extra damage the follow-up turn is not bad. Has anybody tried the Dorumon, I mean? The security Doru? But... I can't wait for, Okay. Bringing down Doru wouldn't be terrible. That was actually pretty reasonable removal. So yeah, these two go, become security Doru. Like, out of everything else, I think it's just the rookie lineup is like the only thing that's just wonky, as they would say. But outside of that, yeah. But I feel like cutting this gets scary. Like, to cut that, it's risky. You know? But, like, my Crossheart matchup is not scary. I don't mind it, because I can control the board. As long as I see this, the board's mine. Same thing with Hunters. Answer this, they're done. It's a cap on them. But that's like the question of the day here. Is how do we bring up the consistency to an acceptable level, in my opinion. What'll probably happen with this video after we've all conversated is that this will probably disappear, and then I'll re-upload the deck profile itself, and then we'll go from there. But yeah, triple dipping, I know. But I mean, I don't have... I feel like Analog Man's just not going to do anything. I mean, Analog Youth won't do anything. Just because your stuff sticks. You're not trashing anything, and that's... Maybe at best it'll happen. Maybe it won't. Yeah. Like, I don't want to extend past this. This is why I'm playing 3 of this. Is because I don't want to risk playing another Tamer down that might be something, and Mercurymon can't Digivolve on top of Analog Youth. The only one that gets deleted is this boy here. So, that's vital understanding there. Yeah, like... Cyberdramon, that's... still requires 2 of these guys on board. And I'm not touching that with a 10-foot pole to risk myself getting smacked by Hunters by that. That's the only thing I won't try Cyberdramon. It's because this being the requirement to get him live is asking for Hunters to kill me. So the way I play that Hunter matchup, it's a single stack like Blue Flare. You're applying pressure that way. You don't do anything else past that. So, that's why we have more blockers. Bt-12 is when something's deleted for its inheritable, gain 1 memory to extend the plays. I tried it a while back. I could definitely tech it in. Oh, 5 cost. It's a 7 cost. Remember, it's a 7 cost. Oh, look, Beelzemon. Again, that's if I play a tamer. Or they hit one. Junkie, the reason for that is because I don't want to risk myself into the Hunter matchup. I want to keep it at 3. 3's fine with me, and I'm not able to play this freely. The only way I would be able to play it freely is if I was playing the Raid Greymon, which was a possibility in my thought processes in the beginning, was play Metal Greymon with Raid, but then my level 5 lineup becomes null and void because he becomes a dead card because he's only going to be able to play a red tamer, and that's if I raid. And if my opponent has a level 5 with 10,000 DP, I'm not getting over it anytime soon. So my raid just became nothing. I mean, if I was playing X Antibody with Metal Greymon to swing in with raid to go into Machinedramon X Antibody, maybe I could see that being the only way I could consistently see the Metal Greymon with raid being able to swing in. Yeah, that is a very problem card for a lot of players. I mean, Mechanori plus that tie is not bad, but against the Hunter matchup, like I said, I'm so nervous that they'll punish me if I play a tamer. Yes, I can control the board and everything like that, but they can easily tuck Mechanori under Analog Man, and then I'm kind of down a body. Then I have to promote up and then answer, but that's not terrible answering as long as I can kill stuff. Okay. Doesn't work with these boys. It works for these. So I have to have him out. Or be lucky I have Analog Man out. Because it is a red-black. I don't have an X option in this deck to reduce the cost. So it's a 7 cost pop. Maximum 8. So that's... I was thinking Hades Force a while ago, but at the same time, I was nervous about it. The same reason why I'm only playing 1 Super Eradication attack now is because of that. But Hades Force is really good, but at the same time, this does the job of Hades Force as I keep swinging to remove. Sometimes I can't combo both. I really can't. Yeah, although I'm just trying to brainstorm and see what we can come up with to improve this list. I don't think it's terrible, but improving list is kind of just a good thing, right? But, Came up with possibly playing the security Dorus taking out one of this and one of this to play the security doors. Maybe it pops up, maybe it doesn't. So that's a possibility there. I'm nervous about walking into Hunters, because Hunters is a deck that this deck cringes for. Tapemon. Let's see. Tapemon? Am I missing something? Got Tapiermon, but there's no boost. Oh! Tapiermon from X Record. 1000 DP. Not a bad idea for Tapier. Tapiermon's not bad. Toy Agumon for the reboot Inheritables, not bad. So, I mean, I could definitely go that route, so I guarantee that. I know I ran Toy Agu in lists just to get there. I'm also trying to limit the possibility of not being able to activate this. Yeah, Crossheart always runs Supreme X7, the superior mode. So both of them are really not what I want to deal with. But yeah, that's a lot of it comes down to what really is the niche tech and what's not. All Force next? I might try him. I'm going to do him in EX4. I'm definitely playing that in EX4. I'm excited to play that. I got the cards for that. For sure. So, definitely liking that. But yeah. I mean, the list is not bad. It's not bad at all. I thought about Quartzmon in this deck. Don't get me wrong. I thought about teching that as a top end for this deck. Just go in, suspend all their stuff, and they bad eyes going like, oh. Nice, Aldo. I can't wait to see those. But and what I don't like about online is you get so skeptical because you don't know who's playing fair and who's cheating. And that's the problem, is that in person, this deck does extremely well. I've had no issues. It's the online repertoire that I'm nervous about. Hunters is just broken because it does so much stuff for reduced free cost, but it does require setup to do so. But if you can answer their setup, you're kind of in a good state. It's the fact that nobody answers it enough. But right now, what's broken is classified Beelzemon X, the lottery deck, the casino deck. Right now, it's Casino in round 8. So, expect that. Yeah, without having to invest into your tamers. Other Volcanoes Mon's not bad. It is a cheaper cost. It's a cheaper everything. I thought about that. I thought about that one too. But also the blocker is not bad. Yep. For sure. I mean, if we went with the red build, we could possibly tech in the Gaussmon. Machinedramon's fine. It really is. It's not that bad of a deck. Because let's take a look at this opening. Ideally, it's not ideal, but we could definitely see a change up. Depending on what we get. So we got there, which we would digivolve here, and just play down Analog Man. That would be decently fine. Then draw the follow-up turn, trash that, draw that. Hand's not doing too well already. Well, the following turn, we actually get there. And then we get there. Okay. So we might lose the rat race a little bit. Yeah, that's like the big thing. Machinedramon does well. It is probably the most rogue deck you're ever going to be classifying. This deck is super rogue classification. It can hold its own when it stabilizes, but the moment it does, we can cheat out our Analog Mans. It's the problem is we have no DP behind it. So we're basically swinging it at 7,000 and hoping they don't have a Mega on board that's going to just go like, boy, what do you think you're doing? That's like the big thing there. Like, that's one of the bigger turnoffs for me is that. definitely the deck can do crazy things. I feel like the deck is fine. I feel like... But at the same time, I feel like... I mean... There's so many useful utilities, you can't jam everything in. I mean, I could probably bring down one black memory boost to become an ultimate connection. Could I? More than likely. That would extend my plays and get me further where I need to be. Will I? Possibly. I'll give it a try again to put ultimate connection in as a one of. And then we can really see what happens there. But... hey, it is what it is at the end of the day. But I figured it's good to get some talking in and just maybe see the like-minded Machinedramon crew talk about it. Very much so. And it's one of the biggest villains. There's not many villains in series. Come to the Tankmon side, we have cyborgs. That's not a bad idea either. 1 cost evolve cyborg, but playing a 3 cost down is rewarding in itself. I just don't want to give my opponent 6 memory. Rookie 1 cost evolve ultimate. That is like the fastest this deck's ever going to go. And you could go faster if your opponent gave you 4. That's if your opponent gave you 4. Or you had Analog Man, Black memory boost out, trash something, extend play, go to 4 yourself. Again, probably playing 1 cost evolve champions. So there's no fast way of playing the deck. You can choke your opponent out to an extent. Again, 1 cost evolve, go into ulti. And then follow-up turn. As long as you have some way of getting something worth value in, your opponent's in a bad spot. May sound crazy, but could it be possible to make a Chaosdramon X focus deck with a lot of Doru line and Bt-12 support? Possibly, but how's the deck going to play? Chaosdramon X would be your top end, and then you're struggling. That's like the big thing, is you don't want to struggle. He is a solid Digivolver for 1 cost on tier champions. So, that's another possibility there. I mean, you're better off just going Black War Greymon at that point. At least then they kind of just flow with each other a little bit easier. So, playable hand there. Security, security, security. 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 Draw for turn. Evolve. Dead but actually, Black Memory Boost comes down. We would grab that. Unless there is a Guardiamon. Nope, we grab that. Set yourself up. What benefits, though? None. Is the X antibody line cyborgs? No. Chaosdramon X doesn't gain the value you think. And this says by returning your hand to level 5 Digievolutions. Chaosdramon X can't put anything underneath from the X antibody line. Remember that. That's a huge neg on yourself. This can't put anything from the X antibody underneath. This is never going to put anything underneath. It's tough. Like, the theory's there, but at the same time, it's just not. It's a great idea. Like, I'm not trying to bust it or anything like that. I just... How do we do it? How do we do it? Is the question of the day. So... Might as well wait if Chaosdramon X being X antibody comes up for future support. Who knows? There's plenty of possibilities. A lot of possibilities there. Hotmon's not bad. Being a little bit stronger. I mean, Hotmon, great for the Ulti Cup. I mean, if we get a Hergurumon that can warp into Machinedramon for as long as you have like 5 ultis in trash, give me that. Give me that as an option. We'd be actually pretty solid. We can get back into the game really easily, set up to make our opponent cry. Everything like that is all we kind of just need is a warp Hergurumon. And we're kind of in a good spot because then we kind of just make our opponent go like, what just happened? Possibilities. Will it happen? Possibly not, but that would make everything broken. But I think, all said and done, I think we got a good understanding of what we wanted to do with this video. Possibly. Yeah, to be honest with you, I'm still upset Bt-12 didn't give us that. That should have been check top 5 play Analog Man. Should not have been the BS we're dealing with. Everybody else gets to. Yep, Season 1 and the new Savior thing that's going on. Sure, the new light novel that's going about. There's a Machinedramon in that. So there's probably some sort of Machinedramon support in that mixture. Will it support this Machinedramon? I will probably say no, but hey. Yeah, Seekers. It's a possibility. But I think a good hour here was not a bad express thoughts, understand where I'm coming at kind of idea. So guys, hopefully you enjoyed this little chat. They just say go play Memo. We're not playing Memamon for that ability. But guys, hopefully you enjoyed this little TED Talk. Guys, hit that like button to definitely boost this video up. It's really going to help out. Guys, stay safe, and I'll catch you in the next one. Peace!